Oh, whoops. Sorry, guys. I got a little carried away there. Time for our multiplication lesson. Sorry about that. So, today's multiplication lesson will be about long multiplication. Over the last couple of weeks, we have been learning about the multiplication table. We've been talking about what does it mean to multiply? We're making some connections to addition, and you guys have created your concentric circles and told me many different ways that we could multiply. However, it's not enough just to be talking about multiplication. It's now time to start practicing and talking about it, okay? So today I thought I would create a lesson where we would look at what it means to multiply in a long way, so that when we have, one digit times one digit, or two digit times one digit, or even three digit numbers times a one digit number, we'll be able to solve it and know how to do it, okay? So before we begin, I'd like to review a few things. If we look at this right here, there's some terminology, or in other words, some words that we need to know before we start using these numbers, okay? 6 times 3 equals 18. We can write our multiplication sentence this way, or this way down here, as you can see, okay? The long division means we're going to do this. But before we do that, let's look at some words. We have the word like factor, which is our 6. We call this beginning part a factor. And just like or, and this is also a factor, but really the name of this first digit or numeral is called a multiplier. You see that, whatever's in brackets, it's called a multiplier. And the same goes, I'm just going to get my tools up. The same goes for over here. This 3 is the multiplier. It's the first number. The second number, we call it a multiplicand. And down here, we also have the multiplicand. And then the answer to multiplication, we call that a product, okay? And 18 is the product, and you guys already know that. So let's continue. Today we're going to have a look and see how we can multiply. Normally, a number like, let's say, 6 times 2, okay? You could write it this way, 6 times 2. And from your multiplication table, you guys know that the answer is 12. However, we could also write it this way. We could say 6 times 2. And the answer is going to be 12. So I'm going to start, because remember, this is my ones column. And then this is my tens, okay? Ones. And this is your tens. So 12, these would be my ones. These would be my tens. So I would write my ones first, 2. And then the tens would get the 1 here. There you go, and that's how I would write the product of this equation, okay? However, sometimes it's not just one digit times one digit, because that's easy. We don't even need to write that, because if we practice a multiplication table long enough, we'll be able to know the answer, and that's easy. Sometimes we could have, that could change, and sometimes we'll have 56 times 2. And now, as you can see, that's kind of difficult to solve looking at it this way. I know 2 times 6 is 12, and then 2 times 5 is 10, and then what happens? This way it gets a little bit confusing. For those that go to Kumons, it's probably easier for you to do this. But there is another way to solve it, and that other way is by writing it the long multiplication way. 56 times 2. Okay, I put the ones under the ones and the tens in the tens column. So now I just start by going to, I start with this 2, and I multiply this 2 first into the 6, and then later I'm going to multiply it into the 5, okay? So 2 times 6 is 12, good. 1 does not go here, it goes here now, it goes on top, because I still have to multiply this 2 into the 5. So 2 times 5 is 10 plus the 1, can't remember it, I can't forget about this one, you gotta remember it. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 1 is 11, and I write my tens first, then the hundreds. Now there's no more numbers to multiply, so this is my answer. Okay, so this is when we have a 2-digit times a 1-digit. Okay, and this is where we're going to practice a lot. However, sometimes it could be 3-digit times a 1-digit, and in grade 3, this is as far as we're going to go. Well, we have 756 times 2, and as you can see, the more numbers we have here, What do we call this first part? Looking back, it's called the multiplier. The bigger our multiplier, the more challenging it's going to become. So I have 756 times 2, and that's really, really difficult to solve just looking at it like this. This is why we have our long multiplication way. So we have 756 times 2. And now look how easy it is. So step number 1, I'm going to take this 2, and I'm going to multiply it into the 6 first. 2 times 6 is 12. 2, 1 goes up here. Now I'm going to take this 2, multiply it into the 5. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. But I'll write the 1 here now, 11. And now I'm going to multiply this 2 into the 7. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 1 is 15. 5 goes here, 1 goes here. This is now my answer, okay? But do you see how easy it is? Here's what happened. 6 times 2, 56 times 2, 756 times 2. Before I go, I'm going to leave you guys with 3 multiplication questions that I want you to practice and bring an answer to our classroom tomorrow, okay? So the first one will be 245 times 3. Try that one. The second one will be 264 times 4. And then the third one is going to be 358 times, let's go 7. All right? So follow the steps. If you get stuck, remember you can always rewind this video, look at the steps again, and I just want to wish you guys lots of luck. If you need my help, you can come and ask me or email me, okay? Good luck, everyone.